no sé cómo se llama. La gota.
¿Te volvió?
Sí, me volvió. Y yo ayer me sentí rara, como trabajé mucho, yo pensé, oh, es por el trabajo. Pero ahorita me metí a bañar y llené la tina y me empecé a mirar y digo, oh, mi pie está bien inflamado y ya me empezó a doler. Digo, que es la canción. Por eso me metí a bañar con agua helada.
¿Y cómo te sientes?
Ok, ya me siento mejor. Se me frizó mi cabeza.
Mira, el hielo es buenísimo para ayudar con el sistema nervioso.
Sí, me metí a bañar y el leche. Aguanté un minuto, estaba contando para no, pero sí, se me frizó mi cabeza.
Ay, mi amor, te mando un abracito para que te calientes.
Ok, thank you, mi corazón.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, hello everyone.
How are you? Hi, Armani. Both of you are here. I'm glad that you guys are here. Hi, Anjali.
Hi everyone.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. Let's see. Let me send a message to everybody. Today the class is really amazing. La clase de hoy va a estar bien buena. Yo me la he escuchado como 5 veces. The class that I'm giving today, I listened to it like 5 times, mostly in my hearted when I was having a hard time. And it really helped me a lot. I hope it actually can help you too, guys. So how was your holidays? ¿Cómo les fue en los días festivos? Esperemos un segundito mientras que todos llegan. ¿Cómo les fue?
Pretty boring over here.
It was boring?
Yeah, pretty boring for me. Yeah.
Me too.
Okay.
It's okay.
I'm gonna tell you something, guys. On my the Christmas date, I had to pass a test, a really hard test that I never thought I was gonna be able to pass it. But guess what? Being alone is the best gift anybody can have in today's society. Em, el 24 yo pasé como que semi sola porque tenía que pasar una prueba para poder completar mi karma, pero les quiero decir algo, uno estar solo es el mejor regalo que uno se pueda dar en la sociedad que nosotros estamos, porque la persona con que usted más se tiene que relacionar es con usted mismo. The person that you need to get along the best is with yourself, with nobody else. And unfortunately, the matrix, how the matrix is made, the matrix is made for us not to be able to have time for us. So if you actually spend it by yourself, you give yourself the best gift.
That makes sense.
And I know it's hard, y déjame decirle, ustedes creen que lo que yo les digo, se los digo porque, ay, no, tan evolucionada. You guys might think that the things that I tell you is because I am very evolved. But guess what? I am doing this process just with you guys. And when I say something, it's because I have to say it, process it, live it, and experience it, and then I can say it. For many, 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 many years, every single holiday, I was by myself. But then, higher self open up opportunities for me to be able to spend it with my family. But guess what? My family is disintegrated as we speak because once you start cracking up the matrix, the system of the matrix has to crack. So rest assured that before you die in this incarnation, the family that you, as you know it, is not gonna be non-existent, because the family that we actually created, if it doesn't hold the same consciousness that we had when we first started it, by resonance, is not gonna be with us. My family is very weird, but I came to acceptance, which is something that we're gonna learn today. Once you accept something, then you can actually integrate it, and then you can actually move on. ¿Están listos para? Ok, vamos a hablar un poquito de lo que les mandé en el grupo. And Mary, I'm going to tell you what I sent to the group today
Okay.
before we start the class. Do you guys remember that I told you guys that in November something happened to me? I connected with a fractal of my karma. And do you guys remember that I stopped sleeping? You guys remember that? ¿Ustedes se acuerdan que en noviembre a mí me pasó algo y empecé a dejar de dormir? You guys remember?
Yeah, I remember you were saying.
Yes. Okay. Apparently, and listen to this, and this is very important, guys. You guys remember how long it took for us to study about the matrix, about decoding the tree, about putting the dates together in order for us to find out what the matrix was all about. Ustedes se acuerdan que por mucho tiempo yo les insistí, por favor, hagan su árbol familiar para que puedan avanzar. ¿Ustedes se acuerdan?
Sí, es correcto.
Ok. Les voy a decir algo. Eso es una de las cosas más importantes que ustedes puedan hacer en su vida. Porque cuando yo no sabía, o sea, yo tenía mucho conocimiento de mi árbol familiar, pero yo no sabía que en mi familia todos son dobles míos. Listen to this. I had a lot of knowledge about my matrix, but I did not know that everybody in my family was a double of me. And I asked this question, what it means to be double. And what it means is that you have cords, karmatic cords, that you need to heal. Cuando usted tiene dobles en su familia, significa personas donde usted se enredó karmáticamente en una vida pasada y usted los creó para usted poder sanar ese karma. Mis dos abuelos son dobles míos, mis tíos, todos mis tíos, excepto por el menor, son dobles míos, mis dos hijos son dobles míos, todas las parejas que yo, o sea, el papá de Joshua, el papá de Mariana, o sea, todos las parejas que yo he tenido han sido dobles del papá de Joshua. So everybody that I had in my ancestral tree, which is basically my parents are double of me. My grandparents are double of me. My children are double of me. All the couples that I had are fractals of Joshua's dad, which was actually something that, like, every single one is like amazing. It's like there was no way that I was gonna escape karma, because every single man that I encounter is actually a double of Joshua's father. So what happened was, I met this lady a year ago by being Infinity Creator, but at the time I did not have the consciousness that I have today. And I have to thank Dustin because he opened up my mind a lot. Hace un año yo conocí a esta señora, yo no tenía la conciencia que yo tengo hoy en día. Ustedes saben que a mí Dustin me ha ayudado mucho a sanar el entender lo que es la terapia energética. Por eso fue que yo me abrí a lo de la terapia energética. Además, yo cogí estas terapias con Trevor que me ayudaron mucho a mi crecimiento. And you guys know that I also took this therapy with Dustin and Trevor that actually helped me a lot to understand. But at the time this lady actually contacted me, um, I wasn't ready. I thought I didn't need it because I thought that you can actually heal basically everything just by doing the classes. And to a certain extent, you can actually do that, but there is actually work that it needs to be done in the astral in order for you to be able to fully integrate everything that is entangled in the astral. So within my process of insomnia, one day I was awakened at 6 in the morning, and then this friend of mine contacted me. And she was actually in the group, but I saw that she was not interested, so I just removed her. But then she sent me a message. She was awake and I was awake. And to my surprise, she was also having insomnia. So I started to speak to her, and then we talked about this therapy. And then I remembered this lady. It was like a flash. And then I sent her a message, and then she told me how bad I made her feel. And then she offered me to do the first part of the therapy for free, which was connecting me with these magnets that I sent you a picture on the chat. I don't know if you remember that I put a chat of some magnets. You guys can actually buy the magnets. It's not that the magnets are gonna do anything good or bad. You just have to read the instructions. But if you have any metal, you have to be careful because it's magnets. So she actually did a cleanse. That's what she called a cleanse. And the cleansing was for 3 days. But then I noticed that my son was actually acting up. So then she said, well, I can do you the entire therapy. And this is the price for the entire therapy. Entonces, ¿qué pasó? Me contacté con esta señora y esta señora hace estas cirugías energéticas. Entonces, la primera parte era hacerme una limpieza con los magnetos, que son los que yo les puse ahí en el grupo. Ustedes lo pueden comprar. Yo me compré 2 para ponérselos a mis hijos y yo voy a coger clases con ella porque yo quiero aprender a desarrollar el don de la cirugía energética, porque quiero ayudar a mis hijos con eso de la cirugía energética. Entonces, what happened was that I paid her the money, and today was the day that she did the surgery. So what they do is that they go in the astral to what is called the quantum, because after the 6th dimension, that's when you start connecting with the ascended masters. So what she did is that she cleaned my energetic field up to the 7th dimension and the -7 dimension. And as you guys heard, there were entities attached that they were actually generational. And if you guys pay attention, a lot of the things that I taught you, she mentioned. What she did is that she used the Seihiki symbol to cover my energetic field and to start cleansing all my chakras, all my energetic bodies in all the existence where I am. Because I told you guys we never died. So what does that mean? That wherever I am, in whatever dimension I am, she actually did the cleanse. She also was able to break 3 knots that is related to the contracts, the karmic contracts that I had. One was sadomasochism, another one was homosexualism, and the other one, I don't remember. I wrote it down somewhere. Then she was also able to remove an egregor. An egregor is a demon, but it's not like in the definition of the demons that we have. Egregor is whenever we started living on planet Earth, we created these entities through fear, that it goes generation to generation and then it becomes like a stronghold, that it was actually covering the light of higher self in order for me to continue my path of enlightenment. As a matter of fact, she said that this entity did not want it to let go, and they have to ask for assistance of ascended masters and Archmichael in order for me to be free from this entity. And then she said that there was something happening in my house, and what happens in my house is related to the fights that I had with my with Joshua's father. Because remember, the walls records everything that happens. And as a matter of fact, I was planning to move since December. I was planning, it's very hard for me to make a decision like that because I pay very little rent. I only pay $1,000. But right now I have such a, since a week ago, I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna pay $2,000. I don't care as long as I have a new beginning, because this is my year. For some reason, I feel this is my year of being blessed. So I said, well, I'm gonna move. And if you can hear, she confirmed that. She said that I have to do an energetic cleansing, that I have to open up the windows and blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. In order for a person to have the gift of psychic surgery is very hard. Entonces les voy a decir, pues en español. Entonces, ¿qué pasó con esto? Que esta terapia que yo me hice, la señora me hizo los 3 días de biomagnetismo, donde yo pude recuperar mi sueño, que es algo muy tremendo, porque acuérdense que por un mes no podía dormir. Después ella lo que me hizo hoy fue que limpió hasta la 7ª dimensión y la menos 7ª dimensión, que serían los planos más densos de la materia. Acuérdense que nosotros nunca morimos, y al no morir nosotros tenemos parte de nuestra energía dividida en diferentes dimensiones, en los diferentes cuerpos energéticos. Solo que ella hizo fue que me limpió, me quitó los implantes. Como ustedes saben, cuando se hicieron los récords acásicos, uno tiene implantes. As you know, we have the etheric chips. I don't know if you remember when you did the Akashic records. I think most of us have an etheric implant put by a negative rays in order for us to delay ascension. Acuérdense que cuando hay los chips etéricos, eso le va a demorar a usted su iluminación, porque esto hace que usted repita patrones y usted no pueda salir del karma. También removió un egregor. El egregor básicamente es como un demonio, que los demonios son energía que uno ha proyectado negativamente en el astral, que esto lo vamos a aprender hoy. La clase de hoy va a ser muy importante. Entonces, son entidades que se crean y pasan de generación en generación hasta que se convierten en una fortaleza que atrapa a la familia. Como yo les conté la historia de Atlantis, que la hablamos mil y una vez, y yo les dije que mi papá me cogió como su esposa, pues ella no tiene ni conocimiento de Atlantis. Es más, ella no sabe ni quién fue en Atlantis. Y ella dijo que en mi familia había una maldición de incesto y que eso era lo que estaba bloqueando mi chakra garganta, que mi apellido tenía escondía mentira, y que a través del incesto era que había ocurrido el abuso de generación en generación, y que ese secreto estaba guardado porque el papá de mi hija tiene mi mismo apellido. Y acuérdense que yo les dije que el papá de mi hijo nació el mismo día que mi papá murió. Bueno, a eso salió ahí. También habló de que mi casa tenía un problema energético, y eso yo ya lo sabía porque yo ya estaba planeando mudarme. Entonces, el don que tiene esta señora es bien difícil que una persona lo tenga. Yo solamente conozco 2 personas que hacen eso y cobran $1,500 cada una. O se puede hacer a través de hipnosis o se puede hacer a través de ir al astral, pero no mucha gente tiene el don de ir al astral, porque para eso usted tiene que tener una conciencia muy avanzada. So in order for you to have these gifts, you need to be very advanced consciously, because ego most likely is gonna be afraid for us to, like, it's like doing lucid dreaming. Not everybody can do it. So if you guys are interested in doing these cleans and psychic surgery, I put the contact in there. That's in addition. Like, to me, that was actually very important because I needed to get back to normal. And as you know, it was very hard for me to stop sleeping. But thank God, after I did this cleanse, since she did it back in December, I went back to sleep. So that's what happens, Mary. I don't know if you guys have any questions about that, or if you don't, well, let's just start with the class. The
I,
class is,
I
mhm,
Yes. So does she speak English?
I don't know. But you know something, Mary, if it's something that you really need, that your life depends, I can actually help you translate. Because remember, for the energy, the language does not matter more than you being free. For me, I don't know for you. So if you really, like, for me, I was desperate because to me, that was one of the hardest experience. And to me, find out that she only, when I start asking, I was asking questions, I was kind of like, oh, I hope she's not gonna tell me 500, 700. When she told me 250, I'm like, let's go for it. And the proof that she's not fake is that I went back to sleep, because I did had a therapy with this bioenergetic guy, but it was very light. Like, I did 4 sections with him, and after the four sections, I went back to non-sleep, and it was very hard. It was very hard.
And she does it through like how do you call it? She does the cleaning, but you seen her physically or you did it
No,
like online?
no, she lives here in Orlando, but I never saw her. She just did it in her house. Like, she does it with another lady in Argentina. She lives here in Orlando, and the lady
Oh,
in
okay.
Argentina assists her by describing what she's doing. Listen to this. The lady goes in the astral, and the other lady sees what she's doing. Like, the voice of the person is not her. The lady who went in the astral was not the lady who recorded this. The
I
lady who
see.
recorded this is a lady that is in Argentina, and I'm totally amazed. And I'm going to start taking classes with them because I
Oh, nice.
really want to develop this gift, but I know I have to loosen up with my ego in order for me to do that, because I really want to help my daughter and my son. I really want to finish breaking all of this.
Oh, wow. That sounds interesting. I may be interested. I mean, I'll try to reach out to her. I mean, I don't know if she knows English, but you never know.
If she doesn't, and if you really wanted it because you want some breakthrough, I can help you translate it. It's up to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely keep it in mind.
I'm going to do it, maestra, maybe like in a month or so. But
You
I'm
got you.
interested in doing it definitely.
Well, I have nothing to do. It's not like she's gonna give me I'm just like, every single process that I do, I share with you guys because I find out that it's so hard to find a clear path to ascension. To tell you the truth, I'm very glad that my higher self has guided me, because if you guys know my teacher, nobody knows my teacher. As a matter of fact, the guy who did the bioenergetic therapy is her father. So I asked him, how does your daughter find people to teach classes? And he said, I don't know, just hire yourself, because she doesn't advertise herself. She doesn't have TikTok. She doesn't have Facebook. She doesn't have a way for people to know her. But guess what? One day I went through YouTube and I found her classes. I'm like, okay, this is going to be my teacher. So everything that I have done, I have been guided by higher self. And in this path, it's very easy for you to find people that is fake. Like to
Yeah.
tell you the truth, I wouldn't pay the 250 if it wasn't because I started sleeping. If it was, that was like my seal of confirmation that I know that she's good because now me and Dustin, as a matter of fact, Dustin is gonna also teach me how to do the energy. I asked him, please, Dustin, teach me, and he's gonna teach me. And as a matter of fact, how I told you guys in the last class, Dustin couldn't help me. My energy field was close to anybody helping me. When Dustin tried and Trevor tried, they say, no, it's like you're closed. We can't help you. I'm like, what? So what am I gonna do? So knowing that she was able to enter my energetic field and she was able to break all of these things tells me that she's not a fake. Entonces, la razón del por qué les comparto es porque todo mi proceso yo se los he compartido, porque es bien difícil uno encontrar personas de que sean verdaderas. Mira, ayer yo tengo un estudiante que se salió del grupo, pero él todavía está estudiando conmigo porque a él no le gustan los grupos. Entonces él me dijo, mándame las clases porque, bueno, entonces ayer yo estaba escuchando un tipo él tiene muchos seguidores en TikTok y él habla de la espiritualidad. Entonces yo pedí que me pusieran el en vivo porque yo quería saber pues cuánto sabía y todo eso. Y yo me quedo totalmente sorprendida como la gente lo único que quiere hacer es monetizar con la espiritualidad. I am totally amazed how people only wants to find enrichment, like, take profit out of a spirituality. People do not care if you actually are learning, ascending, or getting breakthrough. No, the only thing that people cares is about making money through spirituality. It's becoming the new church. Right
Yeah.
now, spirituality is the new church. Since the Christianity and other religions are fading, people that is actually in social media are taking advantage of people who does not know about spirituality. And it's really sad. And it's
Yeah.
really sad.
I agree.
So that's the reason why when something works on me, I share it with you guys because to me, the most important thing is for you guys to be able to grow if you want to learn. If you want to learn, I'm here for you. And I'm here to support you. And I'm here to open myself up so you guys can grow with me. Y como les decía en inglés, la gente está tratando de lucrar de las personas. La espiritualidad desafortunadamente se ha vuelto la nueva iglesia, donde la gente quiere enriquecerse a costa de la ignorancia de la gente, y por eso es que es tan difícil uno encontrar personas que en verdad sepan lo que es la espiritualidad. Otra cosa que les iba a decir, que era lo otro que... y otra cosa que recalcaron mucho, something very important for you guys to know, that the spirit sent, like a message sent to me, that I cannot help anybody that doesn't want to be helped. That is called the savior complex. And I share with you guys because apparently that has hindered me a lot and has bring a lot of entanglement because I have always tried to help people that doesn't want to be helped. Otra cosa que les quiero decir para que tengan mucho cuidado, no ayuda al que no quiera dejarse ayudar. Eso me lo mandó a decir el espíritu, que yo tengo que tener mucho cuidado porque cuando uno se pone a ayudar a la gente que no tiene que ayudar, eso lo enreda a uno energéticamente. If you guys don't have any more questions, let's start with the next class of Reiki. And as you guys can see, she applied the 3 symbols. She applied Seihiki to my entire energetic field. She applied Daikomyo through my throat chakra. And then she applied Hosha Sheshone to my third eye. Y eso es para que ustedes vean que todo lo que ustedes están estudiando, ustedes lo pueden utilizar. Una vez de que ustedes estén libres, todo este conocimiento que ustedes están aprendiendo, ustedes lo pueden aplicar. Mire, yo estaba súper ranchada a abrirme al Reiki. Y les voy a contar algo. El día que mi maestra hizo el taller de Reiki fue el día que yo morí en la vida pasada. Y cuando yo comencé a dar los talleres de Reiki fue cuando yo comencé este proceso tan duro. It's so amazing to me that I didn't want to learn Reiki. But when I decided to open up to do the Reiki modules, that's when I started to have this process that I couldn't sleep. And guess what? Once they did this psyche surgery thing that they did on me, it was she talked about this symbol. So everything that you guys are learning, this knowledge is something that you can actually apply it in your personal energetic life. So vamos a empezar, vamos a hablar con el próximo símbolo de, I don't know, no sé si ustedes tienen ahí con ustedes el PDF. You guys remember that I give you a PDF. Please, guys, those PDFs are very important because it's actually it tells you exactly how to draw them and it tells you exactly what the meaning is. So, si no lo tienen ahí, vayan al coso, al link donde está el grupo y abran el PDF para que puedan ver el próximo símbolo. Okay, Mary, dime, what's your question, Fair?
Oh, before we get off the topic, I just had a quick question.
Mhm.
The psychic surgery you said you did is that something that you have to continue to do with time?
No,
It's just one time.
but let me tell you something. As I was learning about the symbols of Reiki, let me tell you something. Whenever you do a cleanse, it's like it's an empty vessel, right?
Right?
So it's an empty space that you have to fill in. If you don't fill that space in with something good, it goes back to be bad.
I say.
So what do you need to do?
And start
You
doing
need to the
like
work.
that. Yeah, you're gonna learn. Now, do they now what if you go and they see, I mean, so they talk to you and then they they will know if you need it or not, or is that something that they do all the time, or you understand what I mean?
When it comes to the therapy, it's like it's up to you if you want to go ahead and like for example, she did the free one, right? But I knew inside of me that there were things that I wanted to be 100% free. So even though she offered the 3 days of biomagnetism for free, I told her no, charge me the 250 and finish with this cleanse. Because Mary, we've been asleep by 26,500 years ago. Imagine how much we have picked throughout those all these lives.
Right.
And to me, spirituality is hard. I don't know about you guys, but to
Yeah.
me, spirituality is not like, oh, let me just read this and then I'm fully awake. No,
No.
spirituality is actually something hard. So
Okay.
um, I wanted to make sure that I can actually peel as many layers in order for me to be able to continue ascending. Because the biggest problem for the energy to ascend is the structures that we have formed throughout the lives, which apparently is not as easy as we think to remove. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna repeat, I accept this. No, it's something that you have to recap and recap and recap and recap and recap until you are able to shed all these parts. And in my case, my body has become my biggest um, compact because every time I'm not able to shed something, then it manifested as pain in my body.
Yeah. That's it.
So to me, I saw it as an investment. I did this for me as an investment in order for me. You guys don't know how much I have spent since I had this process. So far, I have spent, I think, $600. And these classes that she's gonna give some module in April, and she's gonna charge $500. I don't mind paying the $500 as long as I learn what I need to learn in order for me to be free.
I see. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Maestra, I have a question regarding that too. Was there anything you had to do before she did that to you, or is it
No.
like on your end? Okay,
Mm-mm.
so she
No.
finds you there.
Oh, the only thing that she did was a speaking therapy. She spoke to me for 4 hours about decoding my dream, but I already decoded it. But she wanted to get familiar with my dream. So if you guys want to do it, you really need to work in decoding your dream. You really,
That's what.
otherwise it's not gonna be as effective. I give her a lot of information. I give her all the days. I give her all the story. I told her about what happened. So it was easy for her to be able to go in and be able to break all of these things.
I don't know how that's gonna work for me because I don't know anyone per se other than my mom and my dad. I have no information on anyone else.
But then you do have your husband, then you do your
Yes.
husband's mom, then you can
Uh-huh.
actually decode everybody that you have been in contact. You can actually decode your animals. Remember, everything that is in contact with you is related to this.
Yes, and that's what I've noticed that it's not because I don't know the dates of my family, like my tree, but I noticed like my boss, his wife, like it's like the birthday, like around my birthday. So I noticed that with other people. That's what I've been noticing that it's not family, but it's other people that are around me like daily or that I know that are close to me.
But if you have a month, Andrea, and higher self wants to reveal more, just tell him to give you some clues.
Okay, he's
Just
really
tell
good.
him
Yeah. Okay.
to reveal during the dreams. Like, for
Yeah.
example, if you don't know your grandparents, ask higher self. I said, higher self, if this is relevant for my healing, can you please show me a date and show me a name in order for me to, because remember, most of the things that I told her, I decoded myself.
Mhm.
Because when it comes
Okay.
to the matrix keeps a lot of secrets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's something that you can do too.
Okay, I did have a dream once that my boss said it's like a karmic thing, karma or something, and that's why I'm not working for him or something like that. I had a dream like that, but it's something that I have to look more into it.
Oh, you see? So,
Yeah.
you know, that you start putting it down. Put
Mhm.
everything down before you speak to her. And then start asking. You have an entire month. Let me tell you something. When I start having what happened to me with the insomnia, I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, okay, let's find the resources that I have. I called the angels. I did the channeling. Then I start practicing everything that I teach you guys. Then I start practicing mindfulness meditation, using the colors, using candles. So when it comes to revealing stuff, we had a module when it comes about lucid dreaming. Try to connect with your dreams so it can be revealed during the dreams. You also are good at meditating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So ask for answers during meditation.
Okay.
And
Okay.
remember,
I'll do
guys,
that.
I show you how to check your chakras with the pendulum. If you guys, for example, Mary, you asked that question. Oh, how would I know if I needed it? There is a class, I think 2 classes ago, where I did an exercise where I actually show you how to do a test to find out how your chakras are. If your chakras are really doing bad, mama, you have to do this therapy like tomorrow is late.
I see.
But if you're like, you know, ask higher self during meditation, is this something that it is for me? Because like I said, I met this lady a year ago, and guess what? A year ago I wasn't ready. And guess what she told me? If you wouldn't listen to me a year ago, I would do it for free.
Oh, wow.
But it wasn't my time. And you know what? I gladly paid those 250 because it was actually the number 7. And apparently 7 is a very important number in my matrix. So that's something that you can also think about it. Okay, so
Okay.
you, mhm,
Thank you, maestra.
you're welcome. So let's go ahead and check the next symbol, which is in the modules, which is this one. Les voy a mostrar, este es el próximo símbolo. Acuérdese que uno comienza así. Ese es el próximo símbolo que vamos a estudiar hoy. Y es bien importante que lo aprendan a dibujar. This is the next symbol. And remember, you start by going like this, and then like that, and then this little ray of light. Acuérdense que comienzan así a hacerlo. Se dibuja una vez y se pronuncia 3 veces. Entonces, ahora vamos a empezar a estudiarlo. Este símbolo nos va a ayudar para lo que se llaman los viajes astrales conscientes. This symbol is very important. Listen to this. It's going to help you to do astral projection, what we are actually conscious, not asleep. Este nos va a ayudar para entrar en el plano de la energía. Y entonces ahí vamos a hablar, esto es tan importante para mí, esto me voló la mente y me dejó súper, yo decía, qué tremendo es esto. I'm going to explain something to you that is very important. There is dimensions of the expression of the projection of the energy. Listen to this. Esto es bien importante y bien interesante. Nosotros tenemos dimensiones donde se proyecta la energía en el mundo de la materia, que son los 3 primeros planos, que son largo, ancho y alto, que son los planos físicos, which is the 3 planes of physicality, which is long, deep, and tall. Después de estos 3 planos de la conciencia, se encuentran 4 dimensiones en el astral, que es donde nosotros ya empezamos a conectar con el inconsciente. O sea, los 3 primeros planos que yo le hablé son pura inconsciencia y nosotros no vamos a poder conectar con la conciencia. Cuando conectamos con el 4º plano de la conciencia, que es donde estamos ahora, en la 4ª dimensión, que es en el que estamos ahora, es donde nosotros empezamos a proyectarnos inconscientemente. ¿Y qué es lo que significa eso? Que todo lo que usted sienta y lo que usted piensa lo va a proyectar en oscuridad. Y por eso hay que aprender a conocer qué es lo que se está pensando y qué es lo que se está sintiendo. Por eso es que cuando una persona comienza a despertar, empieza a conectar con el lado oscuro de la conciencia y ahí es donde se encuentra uno con la brujería y con el mal de ojo. ¿Entendieron o no entendieron los que hablan en español? Y les voy a explicar cómo es que uno se proyecta. Por decir, yo estoy aquí sentada pensando en mi novio, en un novio que yo tenía, y yo decía, wow, ese hombre como me hizo de daño. Ahí yo estoy proyectando mi energía con la emoción y con la mente al pasado, conectando con una emoción negativa, y así es como nosotros le podemos hacer daño a la gente inconscientemente. ¿Entendieron los que hablan español, sí o no?
Maestra, sí.
Mire qué importante es esto. Ahora lo voy a decir en inglés. So listen to this because this is really important. So once we start awakening, the first dimension that we start connecting mentally and emotionally is the 4th dimension, which is a very dense energy. So what happens is that whenever we start connecting with the unconsciousness, whatever we think and we feel, we can actually, we project, if we don't have positive thoughts, we can actually projecting negatively, and we can actually hurt the people just by thinking and feeling negatively once we start awakening. Because once a person awakening, that's the first plane that they actually start connecting to. And that's what is called the evil eye. And that's how people do witchcraft. So for example, let's say that I'm here thinking about an ex, and I say, well, how much he hurt me. And then I start connecting with the feeling of how much I dislike how he treats me. And then I start projecting my mind in the way how I felt that. And that's how we can actually hurt people, or how we can actually get hurt by others. The people that speak English, do you guys understand that?
Yes.
That's very important. I find that fascinating. Entonces, la cuarta dimensión es el astral. Entonces, ¿qué es un viaje astral? Los viajes astrales se hacen a través de la cuarta dimensión en adelante, y son lo que se llama las dimensiones mentales, que es lo que llamamos el bajo astral de la mente. So when it comes to astral projection, we're going to find out that there is different planes after the fourth dimension, and is what we call the mental dimensions of the low astral. Entonces, en la cuarta y en la quinta todavía estamos en una dimensión baja, que el astral superior vendría a ser la sexta y la novena, y la décima es cuando ya conectamos con el yo superior. El ego se encuentra en su materialización desde la cuarta a la novena, y es una energía alimentada por la estructura del pensamiento y las emociones, incluso lo que traemos de otras existencias, también lo podemos proyectar inconscientemente o conscientemente. Al salir al astral, esa energía que se proyecta es inconsciente. Entonces ya les hablé cómo uno se puede proyectar inconscientemente. So when it comes to the fourth and the fifth dimension, is this is a more positive frequency, which is between the fourth and the fifth. Within the sixth and the ninth is the superior astral, and higher self is located in the 10th dimension, which is the consciousness, fully consciousness. Ego is located between the fourth and the ninth dimension, which we can describe it as an energy fed by the thoughts, the structure of our thinking and the emotion. And like I said, it can also be added by past existence, and we can project this consciously or unconsciously. So that's the reason why when we go in the astral, is the energy that we're projecting unconsciously. That is just how I explained, which can be the evil eye or witchcraft. Entonces, cuando nosotros hablamos del mal de ojo, son energías que una persona proyecta hacia uno y ni siquiera se da cuenta, porque es inconsciente y tiene que ver con la rabia, con las añoranzas, aún la energía sexual. Cuando usted piensa en una persona sexualmente, usted está dispersando su energía. Y esto es bien importante, porque lo que ustedes se tienen que volver es en unos inversionistas de la... Ustedes se tienen que volver personas que son inversionistas de la energía. Cuando ustedes escuchan estas clases, acuerde que lo que usted está aprendiendo es cómo invertir su energía. Entonces, cuando usted quiere no estar disperso energéticamente, usted tiene que aprender a cuidar sus emociones, usted tiene que aprender a cuidar sus pensamientos. Remember that evil eye is energies that we project, that a person can project and doesn't even know, is unconscious. It could be madness, it could be something that the person is thinking about, something good that happened in the past, even sexual energy. And that's when the person becomes dispersed. And that's the reason why you guys need to learn to save energy, because energy is all we have. And in order for us to have ourselves in consciousness, we need to understand that we need to take care of the mind and we need to take care of the emotions. Entonces, ¿cómo nosotros podemos ayudar a la mente para que recoja la energía y cómo nosotros podemos hacer para que la energía aumente? Entonces, la primera cosa que nosotros podemos hacer es trabajar en la inconsciencia cuando estamos dormidos y te das cuenta de lo que estás proyectando en la energía, en lo que está ocurriendo afuera. Y acuérdese que fue lo que estudiamos en el taller de sueños lúcidos. Esto es bien importante. Con esta clase yo aprendí dos cosas y les voy a decir algo, y esto lo único que hace es que nosotros, bueno, yo me ponga más seria con el trabajo que estoy haciendo. Para usted iluminarse, solo se puede iluminar de dos maneras. Escucha lo que les voy a decir. A través de los sueños, que es cuando el ego no interfiere con el trabajo de la sombra, y a través de la meditación. No hay otra forma de iluminarse. Para que lo sepan, y si se olvidaron del taller del ensueño, vuelvan y lo escuchen. So right now I'm going to speak about ways that we can actually help ourselves to save energy. And one of these things is about lucid dreaming. Remember that we did the module about lucid dreaming. I did not know how important it is for us to work in shadow work as how we actually, when we learn the lucid dreaming modules. Listen to this. If you guys want to get illuminated, if you want to ascend in this life, there is only two ways that we can get ascended. Only two. There's no other ways. People can sell you whatever they want, but there's only two ways. First of all, through lucid dreaming, where the ego loosen up and we can actually find shadows and work through lucid dreaming. And the second one is through meditation. If you are a person that doesn't like to meditate and you're not able to connect with your dreams, it's going to be very hard for you to ascend. So I hope you guys understand that. La segunda es a través de la meditación, porque la meditación ayuda a que la mente se alinee, y vamos a hablar de eso vamos a hablar más de eso. Otra cosa, nosotros tenemos que aprender que la cuarta dimensión lo que pendula es el miedo. Y ya como nosotros habíamos hablado antes, la quinta dimensión es dual, porque lo que nosotros necesitamos es aprender a focalizar la mente. Y nosotros necesitamos elementos que Entonces nosotros necesitamos elementos que nos ayuden a focalizar la mente, porque lo que nosotros necesitamos, ay, yo no sabía esto, y les voy a decir algo. Yo ahora estoy practicando esto en cada meditación y es algo que es bien difícil, porque lo que nosotros necesitamos alcanzar es que la mente esté en blanco. Escuche lo que les voy a decir. Vea, les voy a decir algo. Cuando nosotros comenzamos el proceso de el despertar, y yo me puedo apuntar en lo que les voy a decir, yo pensaba que entre más información uno tuviera, más iba a poder avanzar. Y les voy a decir algo, es todo lo contrario. Si usted es una persona que está súper acelerada para, yo quiero aprender esto, yo quiero aprender esto, yo quiero aprender esto, usted se está truncando su proceso de ascensión. Porque para que el yo superior pueda depositar su luz y usted pueda volverse una clarividente, usted necesita tener una mente vacía, una mente neutra, una mente donde el yo superior pueda decir, aquí puedo depositar mi luz. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that the fourth dimension, like we talk about in many classes about the dimensions of the mind, we find that in the fourth dimension, the mind is fearful. That's the reason why now that we're seeing that people is reaching the fourth dimension, people are becoming fearful, because it's very dense. It's the low astral. It's where the people, when they died, they actually floating around. The fourth dimension is just fear. Fifth dimension is when the mind starts going from back and forth, good and bad. This is skinny, fat, when the mind is dual. So the goal, in order for us to allow the mind to stop dispersing, is for us to focalize the mind in elements that helps the mind to become neutral. That's the reason why when you study with the yogis, the yogi, you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Now,
Can you hear me now?
yes.
Okay. That's the reason why the yogi offers a lot of mantras. The reason why people work with mantras, and when, if you guys remember when we used to do meditation, the meditations with the colors is for us to stop thinking about all these things. Oh, what am I gonna, cook? What am I gonna do tomorrow? What? No. When you start utilizing elements, is because the goal of the mind is to become blank, not even neutral, is to become blank, because the mind is supposed to be a cup where higher self is gonna deposit their consciousness in order for us to be channels of light. That's the reason why a lot of people is confused about spirituality, even me. People thought that the more they gather information, the more they're gonna get to the higher self. And they don't understand that the more information that you have, the more obstacles you're gonna have for higher self to be able to deposit consciousness inside of you. That's the reason why take your time, study, and stop being desperate to find so much knowledge that the only thing that is gonna do is gonna block yourself. So remember, the more neutral your mind is, the better for you to be able to become a vessel in order for higher self to deposit the consciousness within you. Entonces, lo que nosotros queremos es que la mente se focalice a través de la luz que, bueno, entonces ahí está, vamos a hablar de que los mandalas te ayudan a focalizar, los mantras te ayudan a focalizar, también lo que se llaman los procesos de meditación a través de la respiración. ¿Por qué se utiliza tanto la respiración? Porque la respiración obliga a que el cuerpo se pause y llegue al presente. Por eso es que es tan importante que nosotros, cuando nosotros utilicemos la meditación, aprendamos a respirar, aprendamos a pronunciar el símbolo y aprendamos a detener la mente para que la mente se aquiete. Por eso si usted, yo antes mandaba mucho, no sé si yo todavía lo mando, las meditaciones que tienen que ver con soma. Soma significa respiro divino. Esas meditaciones ayudan mucho porque la meditación es un estado mental. Escuchen esto. Yo pensaba que la meditación era un elemento para ayudar la mente y no. La meditación es parte del estado de la conciencia. ¿Qué significa eso? Que cuando nosotros alcancemos la iluminación, ese va a ser nuestro estado mental de meditación. So when it comes to the tools that we can use mandalas, we can use the process of meditation that it has to do with breathing, with pronouncing the symbols, because what the breathing do, it actually eases the mind to be okay and to bring it to the present. That's the reason why they were speaking about also doing meditation through active movements, because when a person has a very dispersed mind, what the breathing is going to do is going to allow for the person to go back to the center and to go back to the present. Because what we need to reach is a state of mind. I thought before that meditation was a tool, but meditation is actually a part of a state of consciousness. So once we reach ascension, we're going to be in a constant meditation. Entonces, lo que la meditación busca es la conexión con la 10ª dimensión, que es la dimensión de la comprensión y la neutralidad. Por eso es que estas herramientas nos ayudan a llegar a este estado mental, y para llegar ahí hay que entrenar la mente. Entonces, lo que se recomienda es que si usted es una persona que no le gusta meditar, que tan siquiera trate de entrenarse por lo menos 5 minutos diarios para que usted empiece a enseñarle a la mente a quietarse, a concentrarse en algo. Y el objetivo es que esto sea positivo, porque la meditación te lleva a la mente a tenerla en blanco para, como les dije, convertirse en canales. So when it comes to higher self, what the mind is looking for is for a connection to the 10th dimension, which is the dimension of comprehension and neutrality. So what these tools are helping you to get to this neutral mental state in order for us to teach the mind to be able to focus. And the objective is that everything that we meditate will be positive, because the meditation is the goal is for the mind to become blank so we can become channels. The goal is for us to be able to channel the energy of above. La mente está en un eje. Entonces ahora ustedes se van a imaginar como que la mente es un péndulo que se va de un lado para el otro, y el gol es que la mente, o sea, al principio la mente se va a ir de un lado extremo a un lado extremo, pero el gol es que el péndulo llegue al centro, y cuando llegue al centro se pueda conectar con el yo superior a través de lo que se llama el hilo de oro. Acuérdense que nosotros tenemos un hilo de plata que nos conecta al cuerpo, pero el hilo de oro es el que nos conecta al yo superior. So when it comes to the mind, you have to imagine the mind like it's a pendulum that goes from side to side. But the goal is for the pendulum to go to the center in order for us to have this connection with higher self, so we can be aligned completely, so we can become a channel. So what it is that we are connected to higher self, to something that is called the golden thread. Just how we have a silver thread that connects us to our body, we also have a golden thread that is actually connecting us to higher self. Y ese hilo se rompe cuando nosotros desencarnamos por primera vez, y se empieza a reconstruir cuando nosotros empezamos a despertar. Cuando yo me hice una vez una restauración de ese hilo con Trevor, yo me acuerdo. So when it comes to that thread is actually sewage when we decided to reincarnate. But once we decided to awaken, start reestablishing the connection with that thread until we fully connected to that golden thread. Entonces, la meditación disminuye el lazo para que la mente se mueva menos y la mente se vuelva una copa receptiva para canalizar el ser. Hay veces que nosotros tenemos chispazos cuando nos vienen de lo que se llama downloads de información, y por eso es que la meditación es fundamental para acercarse al ser, porque nos permite ser receptivos y nos deja que nosotros saquemos toda esa basura mental, la cual es entonces, nosotros tenemos demasiado. Les voy a decir algo, y esto me lo dijo la señora que me hizo la cirugía esta. Y esto también me lo dijo mi tía cuando yo desperté, pero como mi ego estaba tan inflado y yo he sido una persona que he estudiado tanto, yo no lo entendía. Simplifique su vida, simplifíquela, simplifique el conocimiento. Vuélvase una persona simple y humilde. Y entre usted más simplifica su conocimiento, usted más humilde sea, usted más va a conectar con el yo superior. So when it comes to the mind needs to become a receptive channel in order for us to channel higher self. Sometimes we have these sparks that's what we call downloads, where we actually download information. That's the reason why meditation is fundamental in order for us to get closer to higher self, so we can become receptive and we can actually clean the garbage, the mental garbage that we have in our mind. That's the reason why meditation is a tool for concentration, to bring the mind in blank. When I first started my process of ascension, and one day I'm gonna bring my aunt to the group. My aunt, listen to this, you guys. I want you guys to pay so much attention. My aunt is 70 years old and she has been awakened for 45 years. Let me tell you something, guys. My aunt had a heart attack and she did not even know she had a heart attack. She found out she had a heart attack because she had a surgery last year, because she was losing her sight, and the doctor was looking at EKG and he said, look, you had a heart attack. My aunt doesn't have anything, no possessions whatsoever. She lives in a mountain in Colombia. She has no money. And she always tells me this, Tatiana, the less you know, the more you're going to be close to higher self. And it's true, guys. If you guys want to be on the path of ascension, the more simplistic way you live, the more humble you are, the closer you're going to get to higher self. Entonces, bueno, otra cosa, hágase el hábito de meditar para que obtenga disciplina. Cuando se trata de la meditación, usted puede recibir sensaciones como calor, frío, temblor. Usted puede ver cosas, y la razón es porque cuando uno conecta con la meditación, usted se vuelve un canal que recibe información y recibe energía. Y la energía trae códigos que transforman nuestro ser. La meditación transforma las estructuras de nuestro interior. So one thing that I need to emphasize, just learn how to do the habit of meditate and make this habit become a discipline. During meditation, you can actually have sensations like hot and cold. You can actually shake. You can actually feel the energy flowing between you, because this is very important. The meditation is for you to receive information and for you to also receive energy. The energy is going to bring light codes that is going to transform your higher self. Meditation will transform the internal structures in your inner being. Entonces, por esa razón, hay veces hay que tener bueno, para las personas que están muy dispersas en su mente, hay meditaciones que vienen acompañadas de la respiración, porque ya sabemos que la respiración nos ayuda a concentrarnos. Otra cosa, la yoga y la respiración también es una práctica que nos ayuda, y es lo que nosotros llamamos pranayamas. La palabra pranayama significa controlar la energía. Esto es bien importante. Y yo a ustedes les he enseñado varios pranayamas donde usted se cierra un lado de la nariz y exhala por el otro lado de la nariz. Les he enseñado que se llama Hakanavati, Kalvati, algo así, que yo se las he puesto en el grupo. ¿Qué significa esto? Esto es bien importante y bien bonito, y se los voy a explicar. La herramienta más importante que puede tener cualquier ser es gratuita y se llama la respiración. La respiración es lo que el ser hizo para alimentarnos energéticamente. Lo que pasa es que a nosotros no nos han enseñado a respirar y no nos han enseñado a retener la respiración. Cuando usted se acuerde de esta clase y usted esté por ahí, acuérdese, respire y a ver, una de las cosas más importantes es de respirar conscientemente. Cuando usted inhale, usted puede decidir qué es lo que usted está tomando de la respiración. Usted puede decir, yo tomo conciencia, yo tomo luz, yo tomo claridad, yo tomo transparencia, yo tomo coherencia. Y usted retiene esa respiración tan siquiera 3 segundos y después usted suelta la luz, porque sabe por qué, les voy a decir por qué hay tanta contaminación ambiental y por qué se están dañando los polos y por qué se está destruyendo la naturaleza, porque la gente está contaminando el aire con lo que está saliendo de su mente y de su respiración. Imagine qué tan importante la respiración. Es más, si usted aprende a respirar, usted puede sanar su cuerpo solamente a través de la respiración. So when it comes to the energy, one of the things that actually help the most is the pranayamas, which the meaning of pranayama is control of the energy. So one of the free tools that we actually have is breathing. And people don't know that breathing is the most important thing anybody can do. When you breathe, you actually take in energy in you that if you learn how to retain it, you actually are going to be able to help your body absorb good energy. For example, um, you inhale, let's say you want to inhale clarity, transformation, coherence, healing, and you retain it for 3 seconds. Once you retain it, you can actually exhale something good because it's not just taking good energy, you send it to the collective good energy too. So you can say, I exhale anything that is going to transform, that is going to help the collective. If you remember to do this at least 10 times a day, you're going to be able to transform your body, transform your energy, and help the collective transform itself too. Why do we see so much contamination outside? Why do we see that the poles are melting? Why do we see that we're destroying planet Earth? Because it's totally contaminating by our thinking and how we breathing. Because nobody has taken the time to teach us how to actually breathe. So that's very important. Entonces, a través de respirar, controlamos la energía y a mayor energía, mayor concentración mental. Listen to this, which is very important. So through the art of learning how to breathe, we're gonna harvest more energy. And the more energy, the more we're gonna be able to concentrate in a mental state. Entonces, lo que rompe el círculo vicioso de respirar es hacerlo conscientemente para podernos focalizar. La respiración hace que sea más fácil la concentración. Eso es bien importante. Si usted le pone conciencia a la respiración, esto ayuda a que la energía se condense positivamente y lo único que usted tiene que hacer es disponerse. Cuando nosotros inhalamos, nosotros tomamos. Eso fue lo que les acabo de decir. Usted puede tomar paz, amor, armonía. Y cuando nosotros exhalamos, es lo que nosotros proyectamos. Escuche lo que les estoy diciendo. Entonces, cuánta energía y cuánta oscuridad usted puede proyectar. Cuando nosotros retenemos, es el proceso de la asimilación y la incorporación de la energía. Y por eso hay que retener para poder asimilar. So when it comes to breathing consciously, we're going to learn how to focalize. And this is going to ease the process of concentration. So whatever you remember, just go ahead and put consciousness. Because remember, the more you condense the energy, the more you're going to be able to concentrate. The only thing is for us to be able. So whenever we inhale, we can take love, peace, harmony. And whenever we exhale, it's what we projecting. So you can either project light or you can even project darkness. The process to assimilate the energy is when we actually hold our breathing for a couple of seconds. And that's where we actually assimilating the energy that we actually getting in. Entonces, la respiración nos ayuda a cambiar y a tener claridad, luz, y para poder llegar a este estado mental de la que nosotros queremos llegar, que es la meditación. Entonces, ahora vamos a ver el próximo símbolo. Para los que tienen el PDF, acuérdense que yo les dejé todo este PDF, imprímalo, familiarícese con estos símbolos. Estos, mire, les voy a enseñar símbolos tan importantes. Hoy vamos a aprender el símbolo que tiene que ver cómo nosotros podemos ayudar a las personas que van a desencarnar. Podemos ver o sea, son cosas tan importantes que nos pueden ayudar. Entonces, el próximo símbolo que vamos a ver es el que, espérate, sí, es este. Este es el próximo símbolo, se lo voy a mostrar. Yo se los hice, este es, que este es el que nos ayuda a ayudar a los muertos. A ver, no solamente a los muertos, sino la gente, esto es tan interesante, me encanta, para los que tienen el don de ser medios. I love this symbol, and this symbol is the one that is going to help us help people when they wanted to go ahead and die, or when people is there in order for them to
Maestra, I
find the way.
can't hear you very well.
What was the last thing you heard? Can you hear me
Symbol.
now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, can you guys hear me now? ¿Ya me oyen? ¿Me oyen ya, Dianita? ¿Me oyen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Este símbolo ayuda a los procesos de desencarnación. Y esto vamos a hablar largo y tendido. The symbol is very beautiful because, okay, let me just take the camera. If you guys have the PDF, just go ahead and take it so you guys can learn how to draw it. Este símbolo ayuda a los procesos de muerte consciente para los que tienen pánico a la muerte. Escuchen esto. ¿Qué significa esto? Cuando una persona está a punto de morir, usted puede escribirle este símbolo en la planta de los pies y en la coronilla. Este símbolo también ayuda a los muertos a que encuentren su luz, porque les voy a explicar algo. El nivel consciente que usted tenga al momento de morir es la dimensión donde usted va a ir. ¿Por qué la gente muere inconsciente? Porque la gente no trabaja sus procesos. Y como la gente no ha recapitulado, que recapitular significa que usted puede entender la razón del por qué usted pasa las experiencias que pasa, la gente va a un lugar que es lo que se llamaría el purgatorio en la cuarta dimensión. Ustedes me entendieron los que hablan español.
Sí.
Entonces, I'm going to say it in English. So when it comes to this symbol, it's going to help support the process of conscious death for the people that is actually panicking about dying. I'm going to explain this more. People die unconsciously because they don't work, they don't do shadow work, and they don't do recapitulation. And I told you guys that you should at least recap once a day. I told you guys that it's important for you to go back when you're a child. It's important for you guys when you're a teenager. Why? Because let's say, for example, you're going through a very hard time right now, and you do not understand why you're going through the hard time. And higher self cannot seem to for you to get to you. So you can actually move on from this hard time. Guess what higher self is gonna do? This person needs to die because their ego, their mind is not understanding. So I needed to bring it to a new life in order for this person to have a different ego so they can understand what's happening. And that's the reason why people die. So when it comes to people dying, usually they go to a place in the fourth dimension that we can call it the purgatory, which is the same state of consciousness that the person had when they were alive. Do you guys understand that?
Yes.
Entonces, la gente muere inconsciente porque el ser no puede llegar en acuerdo con ellos y entonces, bueno, ellos tienen que desencarnar. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que pasa con este símbolo? Este símbolo, ay, es que esto es tan hermoso, yo estoy tan emocionada. I'm so excited about these classes. I don't know if these classes are transforming my life for real. I feel so much joy and I'm so grateful for this. It's not even possible. Listen to this. When you're doing the therapy on you or you're doing the therapy on somebody else, the symbol can actually appear. For example, you can say that you're going to a person and doing a therapy. Are you thinking that you're going to heal the person and then this symbol comes on? What does that mean? The person is ready to leave. So what you need to do is you need to apply this symbol so the person can transition in harmony. Because a lot of people doesn't process for example, one of the first things that you guys need to work on is forgiveness. If you have anybody that you hate, if you have any resentment with you, with your parents, work it out right away. Because one of the first things that a person can actually hinder in the process of transitioning between bodies is not being able to resolve that. So when it comes to the symbol, you can actually use it for a person that apparently is healthy, and then the symbol appears. 5 minutes later, the person dies. You can actually apply the symbol for a person that is already dead, and then this symbol is going to help the person remember that they're not a ghost and they're actually made of light. And the symbol is going to help them remember and transition to the light. And this symbol is also for the people that is dying, and you can use the symbol. So because most of the people, they don't want to die because they have an attachment. But when it comes to that, it's a very serious situation, because before you apply this symbol, you really need to speak with the higher self of that person to find out if it's your job to help them transition. So do you guys understand all of that?
Yeah.
Ok. Entonces, cuando se trata de este símbolo, usted puede ir a hacerle la terapia a una persona y de repente este símbolo aparece. Y eso significa que la persona está lista para transicionar. Este símbolo se puede usar para una persona que está desahuciada y este símbolo lo ayuda a transicionar a la luz. Pero muchas veces cuando una persona tiene mucho trabajo muriéndose, usted tiene que asegurarse y contactarse con el yo superior de esa persona, porque muchas veces la persona no se muere porque tiene apegos. Entonces usted se tiene que asegurar que usted sí pueda hacer eso y que y es tiempo de que la persona se vaya, o usted lo puede utilizar con personas que ya desencarnaron, porque este símbolo los ayuda a ellos recordar que ellos no son fantasmas, sino que son seres de luz. Entonces, para tomar conciencia de la muerte es aprovechar cada instante sin preferencias o rechazos. Estoy aquí porque puedo estar. ¿Qué significa esto? La muerte es la mejor amiga de la vida y ustedes necesitan entender que la muerte es como irse a dormir en la noche. Si usted le tiene miedo a la muerte, yo lo puedo reconocer que yo le tengo miedo a la muerte, familiarícese con este símbolo, porque este símbolo le ayuda a usted a sanar ese miedo para que cuando el momento de usted morir llegue, usted pueda soltar su cuerpo y pueda pasar al próximo nivel. So in order for you to take consciousness of death, we need to realize that you need to take advantage of each instance without preferences or rejections. You are here because you need to be here. So what does that mean? A lot of people is afraid of dying, but they don't know how to live. So you need to take advantage of each day. by understanding that if you're here, it's a privilege. But if you're afraid of death, like me, you can use this symbol so you can start um, fading that fear away, so you can be ready to transition once higher self is ready to transition you. El punto de lo que estamos estudiando, por decir, de estos símbolos y de la meditación y de la mente en blanco, es de que usted llegue a tener una relación tan grande con el yo superior, de que si el yo superior le dice a usted que usted se va a morir, usted diga que sí. La razón del por qué se perdió la relación con el yo superior es porque el ego piensa que, a ver, todos por naturaleza somos clarividentes, ¿ok? Todos. Pero la clarividencia se cierra porque el yo superior no te puede mostrar algo que si tú vas a interferir o si tú te vas a resistir, es mejor no decírtelo y por eso es que la gente se muere inconsciente. Pero el objetivo es que usted llegue a tener una claridad tan grande y que usted llegue a tener una obediencia tan grande que usted pueda recibir el mensaje de que usted se va a morir y usted se pueda morir conscientemente. Así usted no tenga que morirse en procesos tan duros de la muerte y pueda morirse con todo esto trabajado. So one of the goals is for you to be able to become clairvoyant enough that if the time comes that you're going to die, higher self will reveal it to you and you will not put resistance. So one of the things that I learned from this class is that I need to take advantage of each day. It's like not knowing if I'm going to be here tomorrow. So eso es bien importante. Entonces, la mente, cuando la mente se alía al ser, el ser le cuenta todo lo que va a pasar porque él nos muestra para prepararnos, pero la gente quiere ser clarividente para evitarlo. La mente quiere controlarlo todo. La muerte viene de muchos niveles, a través de la evasión, por no querer estar aquí, por huir de los procesos y por no afrontar. Y entonces la muerte llega como una renovación del pensamiento porque la mente se vuelve rígida y hay que darle esa libertad al ser para el poder experimentar. El ser tiene que ayudar a la persona a desencarnar porque no se puede de otra manera. So when it comes to the mind wants to align with higher self. So when that happens, higher self is going to prepare us. But people wants to be clairvoyant to avoid the hurtful experience. The mind wants to control everything. So death comes in a lot of levels, through evasion, through I don't want to be here, I don't want to confront this. So the death comes to renew us and to renew the thinking because the mind becomes very rigid. So we need to give the liberty to higher self in order for him to experience. But because the person doesn't allow that, the person has to die. Entonces, la inmortalidad es vivir lo que yo quiera vivir, pero en mi ser. ¿Qué les quiero decir eso? Nosotros podemos alcanzar la inmortalidad, pero para poder alcanzar la inmortalidad nosotros tenemos que permitirle al yo superior que experimente lo que él quiera experimentar, no a través del juicio, no a través de la resistencia, sino a través de la aceptación, porque la mente muere porque no se renuncia. Entonces, cuando te mueres inconsciente, vas al plano equivalente a donde estabas energéticamente. Morirse implica no procesar. Y el procesar te deja aquí, que es lo que se llamaría fantasma. Y este símbolo ayuda a esta transición. Cuando estás muy denso, no puedes conectar con la luz y entonces es más fácil para personas como nosotros que estamos en el plano de la densidad ayudarnos que los ángeles y los maestros ascendidos. O sea que este símbolo te acuerda ayudar a regresar a la luz. Eso es bien importante. So it is important for us to achieve immortality and live whatever I want to live with higher self. What does that mean? A lot of people dies because they do not allow higher self to experience. When you died unconsciously, you go to this plane equivalent to the one that you were energetically. Dying, dying unconsciously means not being able to process. Whenever we do not process, we become like ghosts. ¿Qué significa ser fantasmas? Esto es bien importante. Cuando una persona se queda en este plano como fantasma, es porque cuando usted muere, escuche lo que les voy a decir. No morir no significa que usted no va a procesar y usted no va a confrontar. Si usted decide morirse porque usted no puede confrontar lo que usted está pasando, usted va a tener que quedarse en este, mucha gente se queda en este plano como fantasmas tratando de procesar lo que no procesó. Y es más difícil porque usted no tiene un cuerpo, no puede expresarse, o sea que todo le va a tocar procesarlo con mucho más dolor. So when it comes to processes, it doesn't matter if you don't have a body, you can actually stay here for a long time. Once I know a medium, there was a portal last year around July that opened up. And I knew this medium that it was actually helping people go through the light. There was a soul that it was here in this plane for 1,000 years because that person could not process something that happens with the family. So that's the reason why recapping and processing is very important. Yo conocí una medium, una amiga mía que era medium. El año pasado se abrió un portal donde la gente podía, o sea, los fantasmas podían pasar. Y en esta línea de personas que ella ayudó a pasar, había una persona que tenía 1,000 años, que estaba atrapada aquí porque no pudo resolver algo que le pasó con su familia. Imagínense qué importante es uno recapitular. Por eso les digo, escuchen las clases, apunten, ustedes las tienen grabadas, recapitulen, apunten, vayan atrás, hagan el trabajo, porque cuando ustedes terminen, ustedes se van a dar cuenta que ustedes van a recibir su premio. Entonces, when you are very dense, it's very hard for you to connect to the light. So it's very hard for the ascended masters and the angels to connect and help you. So it's simple for a person here in the matter where we are very dense to assist them. So when you present this symbol to them, they remember and they go back to the light. Entonces, como les dije, este símbolo se pone en la coronilla y en la planta de los pies. ¿Por qué? Porque la planta de los pies le ayuda a las personas a que hagan la recapitulación. Yo no sé si ustedes se dan cuenta que cuando una persona se muere les pasa la película, porque están recapitulando. Entonces, recapitular les ayuda a recoger la energía para que se recojan y puedan ir al plano de la luz. Estar seguro. Bueno, entonces como les dije, si ustedes van a ayudar a alguien que está en el proceso, a ver, vamos a hablar de las personas que están en coma y que están pegadas a máquinas. Les voy a decir algo. Es inconsciencia poner a una persona en una máquina y les voy a decir por qué. Pero acuérdense que cada persona tiene su decisión, su libertad, pero les voy a decir lo que yo aprendí y ustedes toman su opinión, ¿ok? Cuando se trata de las máquinas, cuando una persona ya no puede sostenerse, no tiene necesidad de estar en una máquina. Pero aún en la voluntad y en la misericordia del yo superior, una persona puede existir a través de una máquina. Pero aún con la máquina, la persona puede morir. O sea, usted la puede conectar a la máquina y la persona no puede aún no responder a la máquina y puede morirse. O sea que la máquina no garantiza que la persona vaya a vivir. Pero si la persona está en una máquina porque hay un familiar que lo está reteniendo, usted tiene que asegurarse que el yo superior de esa persona quiera que esa persona se muera. ¿Sí me entienden lo que les expliqué? O sea, cuando ya una persona perdió todos sus signos vitales, es porque ya terminó aquí. Y ponerlo en una máquina es simplemente un apego que uno tiene con esa persona. Pero si la persona está en esa máquina, usted tiene que asegurarse que la voluntad de esa persona que está conectada sea que la desconecten. Porque acuérdese que cuando una persona está procesando, esa persona tiene que procesar para pasar al próximo plano. ¿Ustedes han entendido todo lo que les expliqué? ¿Tienen alguna pregunta? ¿Vamos bien? ¿Me oyen? ¿Están aquí?
Ya.
Sí, maestra.
Y maestra, vamos bien.
Okay. So remember to actually put the symbol in the sole of the feet and in the crown chakra. Why in the sole of the feet? Because whenever a person is dying, ya te digo, Dianita, whenever a person is dying, the person needs to recap. You know, it's like in the movies when you see that they're watching a movie of all their life in order for them to recover their energy so they can go to a different plane. So when we're talking about a person that is connected to a machine is a very sensitive subject. I'm going to tell you what I learned and you guys make your own decision. If your body is not responding, you're not supposed to connect a person to a machine. But when a person makes that decision, it's because they have an attachment. But if the person is connected to a machine and they ask you to help them transition, make sure that that person wants to leave. Because most of the time, in the mercy and the grace of higher self allows that. Because even if you connect a person to a machine, it might be that the person doesn't, you know, you can even connect a person to the machine and the person is gonna die. So when it comes to that, even if they're connected to a machine, it's because they still have to do some work. So in order for you to be able to disconnect, to present that symbol to a person that is a machine, you really have to make sure that that's the will of the higher self of that person. Entonces alguien preguntó cómo uno puede saber, tienes que tener una conexión muy grande con tu yo superior. Y si tú no tienes, si tú dudas, entonces no lo hagas. If you're a person that doesn't have a good connection with your higher self and you doubting, please do not offer yourself to do that. Because you need to make sure, because remember, everything that we do here carries karma. Whenever you interfere in a person's plan, carries karma. So make sure that that's what the person wants. Entonces, acuérdese que todo lo que uno hace aquí interfiriendo en la vida de otra persona trae karma. Si usted no está seguro, no se meta. Entonces, para ayudar a los muertos tenemos que tener el lado derecho del cerebro desarrollado a través del nivel evolutivo. ¿Cuál es el lado derecho? La energía femenina. Les voy a contar algo. La energía masculina es el lado izquierdo, la energía femenina es el lado femenino, el lado derecho. Cuando una persona está conectada con el corazón, es cuando tiene el don de la mediunidad. Les voy a decir algo. Cuando a mí me abrieron mis récords acásicos, a mí me dijeron que yo tengo el don de la mediunidad. En mi vida, yo solamente he tenido 4 contactos con muertos. Y les voy a decir algo, la razón del por qué a mí no se me ha abierto el canal es porque yo todavía tengo que sanar mucho mi mente y mis emociones y les voy a decir por qué. La mediunidad es algo muy serio, no, eso no es algo para jugar. ¿Por qué? Porque los muertos cargan mucha densidad y usted puede ser poseído por un muerto, usted puede ser confundido por un muerto, usted puede ser desestabilizado por un muerto. Entonces, hasta que usted no tenga un nivel de mente y de corazón emocionalmente estable, no busque ser medium. ¿Me entendieron todos? Ok. Para uno ser medium, tiene que tener una mente balanceada y unas emociones muy estables. Porque, ¿y usted, qué significa eso? Tener sano el corazón y tener una conexión muy grande con su mente y con su corazón. ¿Por qué? Porque cuando usted empieza a ser medium, usted puede ser poseída por un muerto, usted puede ser confundida por los muertos, usted puede ser destabilizada emocionalmente por los muertos. Y le voy a decir, le voy a contar una historia. Mi tía es medium. Y le voy a contar algo, mi tía terminó en el manicomio y no les estoy contando esto para que meterles miedo, sino que cuando ella empezó a hablar con los muertos, ella era novata, en ese tiempo no había libros, no había internet, estamos hablando de que yo tenía 15 años, y entonces los muertos venían y le decían a ella, vea, ¿sabe qué? Aquí vienen los oscuros y si usted no lava las paredes con cloros, se le van a meter todos los demonios. Entonces ella se levantaba a las 5 de la mañana a lavar paredes con cloros. El marido empezó a ver eso y decía, esta se está estabilizando. ¿Por qué? Porque ella no tenía la intuición, el discernimiento y la estabilidad emocional. ¿Y qué pasó? Ellos le decían, no, que en ese momento su ropa tiene una peste, ella salía corriendo en pelota a la calle. Por eso les voy a decir, cuando uno empieza a ser medium, usted tiene que asegurarse que su mente esté estable y que su corazón esté estable y que usted no tenga miedo. Como les conté, hay entidades que llevan 1000 años buscando la luz. Entonces, usted tiene que ser una persona muy estable. ¿Me entendieron o no me entendieron? Para decirlo en inglés. ¿Entendieron sí o no?
Sí, Tati.
Okay. Well,
Sí, maestra.
I'm gonna say it in English. So when it comes to mediumship, it's not as simple as you guys think. You have to have a very stable mind and you have to have a very stable emotions. Because when it comes to mediumship, you can actually be possessed, you can actually become crazy, you can actually be confused and deceived by these entities. So that's the reason why do not pursue something until you're not ready. For example, when they opened my Akashi records, they told me that I was a medium, but in my entire life, I have only spoken with 4 dead persons, only 4. And I'm not looking forward to open that channel yet because I have a lot of healing in my mind and in my heart. So when it comes to that, I'm gonna tell you the story of my aunt. She was a medium back in the 90s, and there were no books, there were no math, there were no nothing. So she opened that channel, the dead people were confusing her, and she ended up in the crazy house because she was doing what they were telling her to do. So that's the reason why the mind without discernment, like in this class, they were speaking about also schizophrenia. When a person has the perception without an stable mind, they become schizophrenic. Why? Because the mind open to a lot of channels that they don't have the understanding of what's happening. And that's the reason why the person is diagnosed with a schizophrenia. When a person is a schizophrenic, they do not have the understanding of the channel that they have opened to, and they start disassociating from what's reality and what is not reality. So treat this with a lot of care. Do you guys understand that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Bueno, entonces, ¿qué pasa con la gente en coma? Bueno, ya hablamos de eso. A ver, ¿qué más? Entonces, ¿cómo se siente con respecto a la muerte? Que sí, bueno, entonces ya ustedes saben que tenemos que este símbolo nos va a ayudar para trabajar con el miedo a la muerte. Entonces, vamos ahora a ver otro simbolito muy bonito, ya casi terminamos. It's only one page. The next symbol is very beautiful. Very beautiful. Este símbolo es bien bonito y vamos a hablar de él. Este es el símbolo que habla de la transformación y la aceptación. The symbol talks about transformation and acceptance. Entonces, este símbolo, cuando usted lo dibuja, acuérdese que el daiko mío solo se dibuja una vez y se pronuncia 3 veces. Entonces, este nos ayuda a transmutar nuestro trabajo espiritual. Ah, no, este no es el de la aceptación. Espere. No, no, olvídenlo. Este no es el de la aceptación. Ese es el que nos ayuda a transmutar la sombra. ¿Qué quiere decir esto? A medida que ustedes van subiendo de nivel, usted va a sentir que usted está peor que nunca. Yo les puedo decir, en noviembre yo decía, pero ¿qué me pasó? Yo pensaba que yo estaba en el lodazal. Yo decía, pero todo este trabajo que he hecho, ¿qué pasó? Entonces, este símbolo nos ayuda a que, que saquemos todo la sombra y nos podamos convertir en algo diferente. Ah, no, sí, este es el de la aceptación. Sí, 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 este sí es. Dice aquí, ¿por qué la aceptación? Y yo pensaba pues que eso era solamente yo que lo tenía que trabajar, pero les voy a decir algo. Entre usted más acepte los procesos, usted más va a crecer. ¿Qué significa eso? Acuérdese que cuando nosotros estudiamos la chakra sexual, nosotros hablamos de la resignación y de la aceptación. La aceptación es cuando nosotros nos damos por vencidos y simplemente continuamos algo porque pensamos que no hay nada más que hacer, que esto es lo que nos toca. La aceptación es cuando nosotros llegamos a un nivel de conciencia tan profundo que nos permite comprender y entender que aunque yo esté aquí, yo puedo transformarme, crecer y llegar a otro nivel. Entonces, este símbolo es el símbolo que nos va a ayudar a llegar al conocimiento que nos permite digerir y tomar acción hacia el cambio que nosotros necesitamos. Porque acuérdese, la resignación es pasiva y la aceptación es saber que las cosas se cambian cuando yo adquiera la conciencia diferente para dejar de luchar con la realidad y que en el momento que llegue yo pueda cambiar y amar la experiencia. Y les voy a decir algo, eso es totalmente cierto. Vea, les voy a decir algo, si ustedes me conocieran a mí hace 4 años, yo vivía totalmente obsesionada con el papá de Josh. Les voy a contar algo. El 24 de diciembre yo pasé la Navidad con él, con la novia de él y con los hijos de él. En mi vida, yo me imaginé que como un ser humano yo pudiera llegar a ese entendimiento. Para mí eso es un crecimiento súper grandísimo. Es más, yo le dije a él porque él estaba a punto de darle un infarto, que porque él pensaba de que a mí me iba, o sea, que yo le iba a prohibir a su hijo porque él estaba con esa mujer. Yo le dije, mira, yo me alegro mucho por tu relación, yo espero que te vaya muy bien y con amor te digo que tú puedes continuar, yo me alegro que, es más, yo le compré regalos a los hijos de esa mujer. ¿Por qué? Porque ahora yo entendí que esta experiencia era la experiencia que yo necesitaba vivir para soltar ese karma y ser libre. Entonces, cuando usted llega a la aceptación de su karma, usted se puede mover y salir de ese lodazal. Y este símbolo es el que ayuda a sacar todo ese lodo que está dentro de usted. So this symbol is the one that helps us transmute our spiritual work. It helps us transform through the process of alchemy, and it helps us to transform into something different. And through what? Acceptance. I don't know if you guys remember in the first classes, we used to talk about, being in resignation and acceptance. Acceptance is a profound understanding that what I have lived is something that I have to do it in order for me to grow. Resignation is whenever, this is what it happens and there is nothing that I can do and I'm going to be able to move on. So when it comes to this symbol, it's going to help us accept what I don't understand. It's going to give us the knowledge to be able to digest what I need to allow to happen in my life. Resignation is passive. Acceptance is the knowledge that even though I'm here, this is what I need to do in order for me to be changed. And I need to stop in resistance of reality, because when the moment comes, I'm going to be able to change and love the experience. And I can honestly say that is true. Like I was saying to the Spanish people, in December 24, my Christmas was with Joshua's dad and his girlfriend and his kid. And if you met me 3 years ago, I would say that would not possibly happen. But with this process, I have grown in a sense that I'm able to understand that everything that had happened was for me to break that karma. So if you have process that you haven't been able to understand, this is the symbol that you need to use in order for you to be able to be transformed. Ok, el próximo símbolo a la carrerita lo vamos a ver y hablar un poquito, que es este símbolo. Oh, espérate para la gente de inglés, I'm sorry. The next symbol is this one. We're just gonna go through it, it's very quick, almost finished. El próximo símbolo se parece al Chokurei en la parte de que limpia lo negativo y nos ayuda en los procesos de recapitulación y liberación del alma que condicionan la vida. Acuérdese que estamos viendo la chakra corazón y la garganta. Entonces, para nosotros poder alcanzar la conciencia crística, nosotros tenemos que ser como un cristal transparente donde pasa la luz. Entonces, este símbolo nos ayuda a limpiar y nos ayuda a que, espera un momentico, ¿qué nos ayuda? Nos ayuda a poder armonizar todos esos procesos de la mente y donde nosotros hablamos negativamente de nosotros mismos. Nos ayuda en procesos de liberación kármica, nos ayuda en procesos de recapitulación negativamente. So the next symbol that I just show you is going to help us with the processes that has to do with freedom, that is condition our mind in a way that we speak negatively of ourselves. This is for the throat chakra and for the heart chakra. Because in this process, what we need to become is a crystal that it makes us, so what we need to become is so transparent that the light flow through us. So what this symbol do, it help us clean in order for us to be able to be a Christ consciousness. El próximo símbolo que vamos a ver es el que abre las puertas a la iluminación y nos conecta con el potencial creador. Oh, este es bien chévere. Oh, este me encanta. I love this symbol. This is very beautiful symbol because this symbol help us to illumination by connecting to the feminine energy. This one. Cuando se trata de este símbolo nos ayuda con los procesos de iluminación a través de conectarnos con la energía femenina y a través del corazón limpiar la energía sexual. So this symbol is going to help us connect with higher self and help us cleanse our feminine energy. So, eso es todo. Ya nosotros vimos hasta ahí. Ya solo falta una clasecita de el Reiki. Ya retomamos otra vez nuestra chakra raíz. Espero que les haya gustado tanto como me gustó a mí. We only have one more symbol left. It's almost the last class of Reiki. I hope that you guys enjoy how I enjoyed. After this, what we're going to do, the next class we're gonna do is the last two symbols that we have, and then we're going to do some meditation and some practices of this symbol, and then we're gonna go back to the root chakra. I hope you guys enjoyed this class. Thank you for coming in today. Les agradezco mucho por haber venido, por haberme escuchado. Les voy a mandar el video de la clase apenas lo suba y espero verlos la próxima semana. No sé si tienen preguntas. I don't know if you have any questions. Let me know. You guys have any questions?
The fire on the wall with the Florida water. You didn't talk about that.
Ah, espérense. Okay. When what happened is that after they did the channeling, they recommended for me to cleanse my house. And what it is that when it comes to your house, the door is a portal. It's a portal that it symbolizes that you're entering your space, your temple, right? So when it comes to the negativity, what you do is that you put the Florida water in the entrance and then you light up the fire. So anything that has been speaking negatively of you, of the people that lives in your house, or anybody that comes in your house, the bad energy stays outside and only good vibes can come in. That's what it means.
Okay, I see.
Does
Maestra,
Cindy?
I don't know if this helps, but I keep for anyone else, I keep a black tourmaline and a piece of selenite on my doorway in the entrance of my house, and also to all the rooms here in my house. A little bit of
I,
protection.
I do that too. I
Yeah.
I
have a protection jar by the door. I have a broom by the door, and I have the crystal. Look, I'm gonna show you what she meant. I don't know if you guys can see it. Hold on. Oh, right there. Look, in the very top, there is a black thing above the white. That's where my tourmaline is. Ahí yo
Very
tengo mi
powerful protective
turmalina.
stone.
Mhm. But sometimes when you finish a cycle, it's time for you to open up a new one. So it's time for me to move on. For those of you who are fire signs, or if you are Cancer or Aquarius, this is your year. That's what they said.
That's me. I'm Cancer, Aquarius, Moon and Rising.
Dicen los astrólogos que para todos los que sean signos de fuego, Cáncer y Acuario, este es el año. Entonces hay veces que hay que renovar la energía. So I'm ready to move. ¿Alguna otra preguntita más? ¿Tienen alguna otra pregunta? Lo que hice fue que yo le puse agua de Florida en la puerta y le puse fuego para prevenir toda la mala energía que entre a mi casa para que se quede, porque la puerta es un portal donde cuando tú entras estás entrando a tu templo. Entonces lo que eso hace es que corta esa mala energía que quieran enviar a ti, a la gente que vive en tu casa.
Do you recommend we do that, Maestra?
Mira, yo te voy a decir algo. I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Until we actually higher in our consciousness, we need protection. So, did you just hear what I just listened to this? Ya ustedes acaban de escuchar lo que yo les dije, que nada más de uno pensar en su mentecita, algo malo de alguien, uno le puede hacer daño a la gente.
Yeah.
Entonces, ponte a pensar qué puede pasar cada vez que la gente le tiene a uno envidia. Tú
Oh,
puedes ir
yeah.
tranquilita por la calle y decir, mira qué muchacha tan bonita, ojalá le vaya mal. Y tú sabes que aunque nosotros somos los que creamos nuestra realidad, nosotros todavía vibramos muy bajo. ¿O quién aquí está ya en la séptima dimensión? The thing is that our mind is vibrating really low. Who can tell me here is in the seventh dimension? Is anybody here in the seventh dimension?
No way.
Well, we're hardly going to the fifth. So I guess
We have a
until
long
we
way to go.
exactly. So until we reach higher levels of consciousness, um, I suggest for you guys to find protection, especially with the people vibrating in the fourth dimension. People is vibrating very low. I don't know if you guys notice, but people is very negative, hostile, aggressive. You go to the streets and people. Let me tell you something. On Friday, I was in Chick-fil-A, right? And my son was like, he was playing with other kids, and then somebody was screaming at my kid. So I went inside of the playground and I said, who's actually shooing Joshua? I said that. That's all I said. There was two women that came inside of the playground. They were willing to fight me. Who are you actually talking to? I'm like, what happened? I was just asking because nobody's gonna scream at my son. I was gonna tell the child or whoever is doing that to my son to please not do it anymore. People is so ready to fight. People is so ready to, and that's the reason why we need to watch what we're thinking and what we're feeling. La gente está muy pronta a pelear. Yo no sé si ustedes lo han notado. La gente está lista a pelear, a ser hostil, a ser grotesco. La gente está ahí. Yo, eso es lo que yo veo. Yo no sé lo que ustedes ven.
I see it too, maestra.
Yo miro que antes la Navidad hacía como que las personas como que tuvieran más cortesía, más empatía. Y yo veo que hasta ahora la gente se le está perdiendo aún hasta el espíritu de la Navidad. Entonces, mire, por eso yo les he dicho que se hagan sus... Yo últimamente me he hecho varios baños. Me he hecho baños con romero, con salvia. Yo pongo por decir, caliento todo en la tina y después me lo pongo y me baño con eso. Entonces son cositas que uno se puede ayudar para renovar la energía. ¿Alguna otra preguntita más?
No, thank you.
A ver, yo qué dice Anita. Y además, ¿qué les he dicho yo? Prendan velas. You guys remember that I always light up a candle? Light up candles. Candles are really good. Whenever, like, one of the best ray to meditate is the violet ray. El mejor rayo para meditar es el morado. Visualice su casa en luz violeta. Visualice la gente que usted ama en luz violeta. Acuérdese que todo lo que nosotros veamos en la mente es lo que pasa en el etérico y se manifiesta aquí. Bueno, ¿tiene alguna preguntita más? You guys have any other questions? Les deseo muy buenas noches. Me encanta haberlos visto otra vez. Y nos vemos la próxima semana para la última clase de Reiki. Y después vamos a tener una buena meditación donde nos vamos a hacer Reiki cada uno si les parece. If you guys want to the last class of Reiki, we can do a very good meditation and we can practice the Reiki symbols as a group if you guys want.
Sounds good.
Ok, mis amores, los dejo y nos vemos la próxima semana.
Thank you, maestra.
Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.
You too, mi amor. Bye.